All right, for our next match, looks like we've got two different regions going against each other, but we have a good old 1v1. It is Robin and Donkey Kong at 1.3 million GSP apiece, almost 1.4 million for our Donkey Kong on the right-hand side. And John Wick 69, listen, we know he's a killer, but now we know he's a killer in bed as well. We got Proto over here on the left. So with this, it's going to be a stock match on Kalos, so these guys are definitely competing to make their way up into Elite Smash. And this should be a fairly higher level game, especially because we're not looking at two necessarily overpowered characters, although I do kind of favor Donkey Kong a little bit in this one in general, just personal preference. I think Robin can easily hold her own here with a lot of the zoning. Donkey Kong's going to have to find a way in and hope that the Robin doesn't have some close range alternatives to Donkey Kong's aggression. As you can see, Donkey Kong's aggression is just going to be non-stop. Robin's going to have to use some of her projectiles in order to create some space, set up some combos. Unfortunately, Donkey Kong is not really respecting the fact that Robin does have some options in both ranges. And Robin getting a good block right there, but falling to the up ground attack right there. And unfortunately, she's getting air juggled a little bit, trying to create some space, get in the corner here, wait for the attack, recover. Dude, you always got to fear the Wick. All right, so now they're both in a fairly dangerous spot. One attack, one fully charged forward smash from either of them is going to mean the end. Robin's probably going to do some corner control here, but not if Donkey Kong can go for the Meteor Smash into the up air and land the first KO. This is a 3-stock match, however, with 7 minutes, and Donkey Kong's keeping that first life alive a little bit longer. He's at 165%. Robin catches him on his way back. Maybe should have reached for the corner instead of actually trying to land on the arena next to Robin. Now he's making use of some dash attacks, but unfortunately Robin doing to the Donkey Kong what the Donkey Kong was doing to the Robin just on the last stock. The second life is still fairly even, however, despite the fact it looked like Robin had a little bit of air control. You can never underestimate the Kong. He goes for the mid-air. He goes for the edge guard. Manages to get it at a relatively low percentage, so he's feeling pretty good going into this last life, but he's got to land some damage before he loses his life, if he even loses this life in the first place. And Robin can play keep away as much as she wants. But Donkey Kong managed to close the gap, get a little bit of damage, get a dash, and now he's going to go for some edge guarding. Oh, he catches her with the up smash. Now she's in big trouble. She's a full stock behind. Oh, he was going to go for the Meteor Smash there, but he jumped a little bit too high. As long as he can keep the guards up, I mean, he's still got a whole life to go through. Even if Robin lands this kill, Robin would have to play so well in order to not lose this Donkey Kong right here. There you go. Now it's 1-1. Stop kicking in idle, and now Robin's going to have to play very carefully. I wouldn't be surprised to see Donkey Kong go for either a very greedy forward smash to try and land the KO, which could actually cost him in the end, or just go for a grab into some edge guarding. Oh, there you go. Come on. Is Donkey Kong going to actually put it? Come on, Donkey Kong. You had such a huge advantage. Oh, actually catches them with the dash. Off the edge right there. They weren't even all the way on the edge just yet. Making great use of the range. However, Robin, oh, not quite. It was real close. That could have very well been a KO. This Donkey Kong is just playing too afraid. Oh, he might have some edge guarding here. He's really got to make use of this, but he's playing real scared. Oh, there's the grab, and that's what I said. I knew it was going to end up coming down to a grab, but Robin was playing way too safe, but almost brought it back. That one attack that should have been a KO, but it just wasn't enough. The Donkey Kong pulls it out and probably goes up to about 1.4 million GSP, making his way up to the Elite Smash as he cheers himself on, and Robin really claps but doesn't really mean it. That was a fairly high-quality game. Hopefully we can get more of those today. For our next battle, we are looking at all from one region, and we're looking at a 970,000 Inkling versus 750,000 Falco. Inkling, again, very easy to carry with character to try and work your way up to the higher GSPs. Falco going to require a little bit more finesse against Inkling. He's going to make sure he doesn't have to play into those rollers, because if you play into those rollers, that's what gets you killed. That's what makes Inkling a terror to deal with online, because the rollers set up easy combos.
Shoutcasting up.
Op, I love Op. Thank you for 31 months in a row, Hammer. Can I get some sub hype in the chat, please and thank you. And of course. Alright, so I haven't yet to see any skilled Falcos play. Of course, he's sitting at a relatively low GSP, so can't say anything about that just yet. But as you can see already, one roller in. Gotta be a little bit careful with this one. It's a fairly safe match from both of them so far. The Inkling's not going for too many rollers because Falco's not playing to the ground very often. And even when he does, luckily, his blaster actually has priority over the roller attack. Asia's welcome back for the 5th month in a row as well. However, he is still playing a little bit into the Inkling. He might have to keep the gap closed a little bit more often, but it seems like he's a little afraid of getting point blanked, and he just had a missed recovery. He thought he was going to grab the ledge right there, but he what looked like air dodged and actually canceled his grab onto the side and then had to go for the up B. Realized it a little too late. Hard to tell if maybe there's some input issues that were going on there, but he's looking to grab the extra stock against the Inkling with a pretty good meteor smash, and the Inkling can't get the angle, so now it's back to an even match. This was only a 2-stock game right here. And the Inkling's probably going to be looking to play it a little bit safe. Again, you have to remember that a lot of Falco's ground attacks do have priority over the roller. So if the Inkling really does want to go in for some roller combos, they're going to have to get some ink on the ground. And then they're going to have to go underground and try to do that. As you can see, Falco's just taking advantage of the Inkling's almost fear to get close to the Falco, and fear of losing. And all they're doing is powering him up even more. As long as he doesn't have another... Oh, that was almost real close. He almost missed the edge again. It's fairly even match, so the Falco's a little bit behind. He took a very, very much charged forward smash. He manages to recover properly and land a forward smash of his own. And here comes the roller spam. We can almost guarantee that the Inkling is just going to spam their roller for the rest of the match. He's going to have to make his way out of that as quickly as possible because every time he lands, this Inkling's going to be going for it. Meteor smash, air. Oh, this could be the Falco's chance to just land the KO. Neither of them get the meteor smash. He's got to be real careful. He's playing the Inkling. I don't know why the Inkling all of a sudden decided that they were not good enough for the roller. Maybe they can't find the opportunity to actually charge anything up. And he does it again. He dies it the exact same way, going for that edge. That edge was not on his side in this match. I'm sure he's furious about losing that match like that. I know I would be, and I'd be yelling, "What the hell is wrong with you, game? You ruined everything!" I'm sure the Falco is yelling stuff like that, but they both put on a very good match.
Charity.
And both of them are probably going to work their way up to Elite Smash at some point. Thank you, Neurometry, for the 699 charity cheers. Seemed like everyone had troubles with that corner. The Inkling had the exact same issue going on. And now we've got, oh man, we've got a 1.3 and 1.4 million combination of two heavy hitters against 615,000 GSP. Young Link and Marth, both pretty solid characters, but King DDD is a personal favorite of mine. Bowser, can't go for the Bowser sides in this game without giving something up in return, but he is still a monster as per usual. Thank you, Cheap Seats, as well for the 25th month in a row. What's going on, Shade? Now, Young Link is an excellent character. If you're looking for one of the lighter characters to actually invest in a little bit, he is definitely a solid one, but we have to see the play out of him in the first place. DDD and Bowser can be really easy to play into these 2v2 matches just because they have so much mobility for such large characters, especially this DDD, who seems to be making use of their neutral airs into their ground combos very well. If you keep him close to the ground, ooh, good on that Marth to actually land that reverse. DDD going for the suck and throw, and it looks like the Young Link just fell off the edge. It's 3 stock though, so you can always bring it back. Yeah, we're probably going to do something like that in the coming months, Shade. Unfortunately, it looks like we are seeing that GSP difference make a lot of difference here, just because you can see the DDD is accelerating his falls and he's using his neutral air in the process, because if he can hit them with the neutral air close to the ground, he can follow up for a very reliable combo. He's also making sure to actually use those spike balls in order to try and do a little bit of zoning as he comes back onto the arena. He's got more than enough recovery and he never has to worry about it, but it looked like Marth actually didn't use his counter, but he straight up deflected the ball into Bowser and actually KO'd him there, which puts us at just a 1-stock difference, with DDD still having a very high amount of damage done to him. However, the Young Link does as well, and the Marth on the cusp. There's both edge guarding separate ones, and they're trying to gang up, but the forward smash coming out of Bowser is just too much. This difference in the GSP is certainly becoming more apparent as we get further and further into the match. DDD still has not taken a KO. I think they're a little bit afraid of him, but he is playing a great zoning game. That spike trap hitting both of the players on the other team. He's got to be real careful, though. One good smash and he will lose his first stock, but I don't think they're particularly worried about it. The Marth's already at 100%. He even deflects that back, and it doesn't end up mattering for very much. The Bowser's just got great edge guarding right here, while the DDD provides support throwing those projectiles away. And that was just such a wash. I mean, we already know how this match is going to end. DDD didn't lose a single stock. The Bowser lost one stock there, and it almost seemed like it was accidental. Knocking DDD's own projectile back into the Bowser to land a KO was not even close. DDD is such a force to be reckoned with between his zoning, and the Bowser just had constant aggression. He made sure to constantly be going and making room for the DDD to just do what he does. Yeah, but you could still host the tournament, though, Explosion. Like, you could do it. You just have to do it match by match, which kind of sucks. All right, we've got a 1v1. We've got a Wolf versus a Kirby. Wolf, one of my favorites from the older games. I did skip Smash 4, so he's one of my old favorites. We do have a Kirby Espin here. There is significant GSP advantage for the Wolf, and that could definitely come to play here. But maybe the Kirby is great and just hasn't had a whole lot of games under their belt, so we're not going to call anything until we actually get into the match themselves. Not you, Wolf. That Wolf. What's going on, Auspicious? How you doing, dude? Dude, I'm a Final Destination kind of guy, Anthony. Alright, let's see what this Wolf can pull out. We got a 3-stock 7-minute match here. Both of them seem to have some fairly tempered aggressions right here, trading blows occasionally whenever the other one goes for a miss. Wolf with the good block into the triple hit and the throw, but jumps right into a hammer, and that's just kind of how this match has been going. He combos into the dash attacks, throwing out his blaster whenever he can, and he just seems to have slightly better control over everything. Anytime Kirby goes for the hammer and doesn't land it, he's punishing it with a grab with several attacks mixed in. But Wolf's the first one to lose the stock. He walks into a not even fully charged forward smash, but he had just enough damage on him to take the first stock loss in this actual game right here. Kirby's trying to play it safe. Obviously, they want to, considering they have a stock advantage, but it's going to be tough against this Wolf who's shown pretty good resilience, but he's making use of dash attacks, but this Wolf with his recovery decides, you want to edge guard me? Well, you're going to have to edge guard me from beyond the grave, because you are simply not getting any further. I think the Kirby might be getting a little too reliant on those dash attacks after landing a few of them on the Wolf. But the Wolf is just going to have relentless aggression. Still a little bit behind percentage-wise, but as long as he doesn't get hit by any random forward smashes again, then he should absolutely be okay. He's blocking properly. He's making sure Kirby doesn't have any control over the various zones. He's not walking into any more of the hammers. The Kirby's not even trying to do hammers anymore. They're doing up Bs at what seem like really inopportune times. Maybe a little bit of pressure getting to them when they had the advantage. Now they're losing it. He does take that right there, but he blocks it and just punishes it, so you can't really do much. He went for the Meteor Smash, didn't get it. So he's just chasing around, and once again, he walks into a forward smash, almost loses his life, but he almost took Kirby's life again in the exact same way as well. It's going to be a close one right here, and once again, if the Wolf doesn't play it a little more careful, he looks like the person who should win this game. He's playing better on average, but if he keeps walking into those forward smashes, he's just going to keep getting KO'd, and they're pretty even right now, only about a 22% difference. The Kirby, once again, gets another forward smash, evens things up for the most part, but if the Wolf plays back a little bit, maybe uses his blaster to his advantage, got to be careful, though. You can't blast into Kirby's mouth, giggity, because if you do that, then you're just going to be giving him a little bit more of an advantage. He doesn't heal for very much off of it. He actually used the animation lock on Kirby absorbing the shot, and went in for a follow-up combo, and the Kirby's just falling further and further behind. But every time we see this exact scenario, that is when Kirby tends to land the forward smash and the Wolf loses. And once again, he might have just done it. Nope, it's close. He's got to be real careful. If he gets close to the edge, oh, and the Wolf, he just goes a little too far. If he had grabbed onto the ledge, he would have had plenty of opportunities there. But a couple of lucky smashes, a couple of fully charged hammers, especially with Wolf's landing position. And the lower GSP Kirby takes the match. I really thought Wolf had that one, but just a little bit too much aggression at times where he could have been playing a little bit more defensively. He could have been making use of the blaster, making use of Kirby's animation locks that come whenever he uses certain attacks, including the suck, which he did do at one point. He did take advantage of that, but all right, so for the next battle, we're looking at two 1.3 million GSP characters. Kignoff and Moke. We've got Rob and Bowser. We've seen one Bowser game today, and this is a stock game on Norfair. Definitely seeing how this more... Oh, the previous 1.3 million GSP, they're almost exactly even. The previous 1.3 million GSP game we had was definitely the highest quality game that we had prior, and it was a 1v1 as well. Rob, hate going up against him, but we'll see how this Bowser actually pans out. I'm not sure how the matchup actually works, but Rob, for me, is just such an annoying character. Immediately going in charge of his projectiles and creating some space on the map, constantly picking up that stupid gyrator or whatever it's called. Gyro, whatever. The gyro, that's the thing. Gyrating's totally different. Don't do that going out into the club. You're going to look ridiculous. But however, the Bowser's keeping the pressure on. He's losing by some percentage right now, but luckily his down air right there when it hits the ground actually has enough range to go through the upper platform. He's got the gyro fully charged, and now he's going to be playing around that. Oh, but he misses the eye laser. That could have been an easy KO right there. Bowser looking for the air control. Oh, goes for the meteor smash. Doesn't quite get it. Rob gets the corner. Decides to jump off and go for a neutral air. However, he stands right under the Bowser. Now has to fight for control again. Misses the neutral air as Bowser goes for the up air and just takes out the first stock. This is a 3-stock match. As you can see, however, Bowser is smoking. He's one good attack away from just being out of his first stock, but he's making sure that he does the most with this stock as he possibly can. And he is doing a lot with it. He's already got Rob up to 51%, and he's still not going to be out, although with the gyro, oh, no, he misses it, but the eye laser. You always got to watch out for that eye laser because he is never quite done when you think he is. Rob is a very, very deceitful character. Alright, but he still has quite the advantage over him in terms of damage dealt on the second stock right here. And as long as Bowser keeps landing those air attacks, especially if they're competing for this final smash, if Bowser gets that and he lands the punch, it's going to be a hell of a time. He wasn't even going for the kill. Rob's greed going for the final smash there was all he needed. Bowser's probably going to... No, he's actually just going to go for it. He's not going to take the chance that he actually loses the stock. He's got to land the punch, though. He's got to land the punch, and he lands it. Now, it's only going to be damage here because Rob had just lost his stock, and he does have some decent recovery here, so he's not going to just stay off the edge right there. But, I mean, he is up a whole stock and almost enough percentage for you to consider it more than a stock. But the difference is starting to get closed right here, and with Rob taking damage, the Bowser's just shown some better air control, some better combos, especially when it comes to the edge guarding. He's at a huge advantage over the Rob this whole game. Will his greed be the death of him, though? Yes, Bowser did that to himself. He went for the meteor smash to end. And Rob taunting him a little bit, but you got to be careful because grabs are a thing. You can't block the grabs, Rob. You got to make sure you're paying extra careful attention. Ooh, I was afraid the Bowser was going to actually KO him. He's trying to edge guard with the shell, but he's got to be. He's shown a little bit of tendency to get a little greedy. The Rob lost a life to the greed on the final smash, but I mean, if he can actually hold the edge right here, Bowser's not going to have the recovery. Oh, he just barely did. Rob's going to use the grab, just like we said. You got to keep your eye on that. And the Rob all of a sudden is taking the edge guard to the maximum advantage right here. Oh, however, he drops his shield just half a second too early. And we still have to keep in mind that this Bowser is ready to go. His grabs are dangerous. He brings him up to the top platform. Makes it even easier to land the KO and ends it. Bowser almost let that one slip through, but that was a pretty close 1.36 million GSP match. Rob's got the quick clap going on, but Bowser ends up taking the win. Probably moving up to about 1.4 million GSP, that global smash points. Woo! Some exciting stuff we've got here. Some exciting... Bowser, you just look ridiculous when you do that for 15 seconds in a row. I just want you to know that, buddy. Alright, for our next battle, what do we have? Ooh, 1.4 million Incineroar and Ridley. Now, the last match we were talking a lot about grabbing, but they were going for manual grabs. Ridley and Incineroar are going to be looking for grabs constantly. I know when I was playing through the World of Light, Ridley's grab dash was atrociously annoying to deal with, so I'm not going to be an expert on that. Incineroar, I'm not a huge fan of the character from a personal playstyle standpoint, but if he can keep the grapples going and he can make sure that he's got a good... Oh, and it's a very small arena at that. We're in the Dr. Wily stage right here. Definitely have to be careful. I expect Ridley's going to go for a few basic combos before reaching for any of the grabs and dashing him over to the edge. The tail poke is very effective. Ridley does have a pretty decent range, so unless Incineroar can really get some of those top-tier grabs, or he can get some air chains like you had him going right there, but Ridley making use of that extra range with the tail, just poking him, poking him, poking him. And he abuses Incineroar. This is one of the big things I don't like about Incineroar is his recovery. Because if you do not go high enough right off the bat, Incineroar just decides, you know what, I guess I'll just kill myself. And that's exactly what happened right there. He goes for the Meteor Smash. And thankfully, it's a very small stage. So Incineroar is probably having a good time with the recovery. But that was just not a good one for him. And he gets the Meteor Smash, though, showing that just because Incineroar can kill himself doesn't mean he can't not kill the enemy. He can kill the enemy. That's what we were looking for. Ridley showed some good play before and is starting to come back a little bit in this one. It's going to be a lot about the edge guarding here. And Incineroar has shown he's got the timing to go for those meteor smashes. Now it's just a matter of if he can get the timing on all of his other attacks, because this Ridley's range with the tail is just proving so useful against this Incineroar right here. But he drops his shield a little too early and he loses a little bit of damage. Oh, and he manages to meet him in the middle with the grab right there. That could have been very bad for the Incineroar, who's actually very close to KO range. But he lands a grab of his own, and last time we were in this situation, Incineroar landed the KO. Can he keep him off the side of the arena? He's looking for it. He's looking for the air attacks. All right, he's back towards the other side of the arena. Ridley's got the edge guarding to go on right now. Luckily, he was close enough to the edge. And he uses his own recovery after getting up to try and push back the Ridley a little bit more. Just pushing back and forth. Oh, and there's the Ridley grab that I'm always so afraid of. However, now he's just going to try to go for the edge guard. And what a sick recovery from the Incineroar. He uses his recovery. It goes directly to the edge. There's just enough range. And he lands the KO on the Ridley at the same time. That was a hell of a save, and he better hope that it doesn't come back to bite him after he loses this next stock, because this Ridley's playing well enough that this Incineroar will probably not go without losing that stock. There we go. So we're down to 1-on-1 stock. We still have over 4 minutes left. I don't know why Ridley is trying to point that towards the outside. Must have been missed input where he meant to aim it towards the middle of the arena. Now he's losing on the damage percentage massively. He did 5% damage fireball, and that's not really going to go very far for Ridley. If he gets grappled once by Incineroar, he's got to be very careful. He almost lost his life right there. In fact, he almost lost his life again. If Incineroar can get even a halfway decent grab, that is all he really needs to be fishing for right here. And he gets it! Is that going to be enough? Oh, Ridley's got recovery. He's going to have to edge guard this. He's going to play it safe and try to back off, and he's just going to go for him as soon as he gets up. He's just going to try to chip away until that ends up being enough. He's trying to catch him when he goes in the air. Gets the grab, and that time it's going to be the KO. That's all Incineroar needed to do, despite killing himself for the first stock. He goes, you know what? You can have 4 lives. I'll only have 2. And we'll call it even, because Incineroar takes the match. That last stock went very, very well for him, and that championship belt that he's got right there is definitely well-deserved. Ridley does not seem to be pleased. All right, so we've got our first Meta Knight that we've seen for the day. We've seen Pikachu, Kirby, and Marth. We're looking at about 600,000 GSP team over with Kirby and Marth against the 840,000 team of Meta Knight and Pikachu over on the right. Now, Meta Knight was one of the most atrociously annoying characters in Brawl, so much so that he was banned from a lot of local tournaments where I grew up. And I heard people say that internationally he was generally considered a menace. He's been dialed back a little bit. There's a lot more strong characters in this game with over 70. So he's not as dominant in this, but he can still absolutely cause some issues if he knows what he's doing. But Kirby's going to hopefully get some revenge against this Meta Knight right here. Got to watch for his recovery options. You have to watch especially for that corkscrew, because good Meta Knights just don't even use it for the sake of recovery. They can use them just as easily for recovery as they can to just wipe the floor. It looks like he's not really focusing too much on his air combos right here, but he is landing a bunch of attacks while Pikachu just provides support with their various thunders. Doesn't help that the enemy team is jumping into a lot of Pikachu's thunders, and he's going to go for that. I mean, they both have charge and corkscrew style attacks, so all we would need is a flare blitz out of Charizard right here, and this would just be disastrous. Now, Pikachu almost killed themselves right there, but they have so much recovery that it didn't really matter. However, Meta Knight has killed himself despite having insanely good recovery, and Pikachu may have just done the same. So the blue team, as much as they were playing great, they both killed themselves. Nobody did that to them but themselves. That's it. That's all there is to it. Kirby's sitting up with 1 stock. He might lose that here momentarily, but Meta Knight and Pikachu, you can't just decide you want to charge off the side. Those attacks are great. Your Thunder Charge and your Corkscrew, but Jolt Charge isn't gonna be that good for you if that keeps happening. Oh, and somehow they actually didn't get punished on the edge guard right there. Meta Knight suffering over there. Pikachu's trying to provide some cover. Luckily, not a very powerful Final Smash gets dropped, but with some decent edge guarding over here, Marth and Kirby trying to stop them from getting back. Pikachu just walking up and landing thunders repeatedly. Tries to go for the up smash, but Marth landing the mid-air counter. Ooh, however, that was a bad position. Luckily, the Marth did not react and actually goes for the counter, but then takes a forward smash out of Pikachu, and then takes an even further charged forward smash out of Pikachu, who's now going for another one, but it's just going to get squashed under Kirby. Meta Knight once again just falls to his death. I feel like there's too much focus from this Pikachu Meta Knight team on specific attacks as opposed to looking for the scenario that is best for them. The Jolt Charge ends up landing another KO right there. Kirby still has 2 stock, Pikachu still has 2, but Meta Knight's down to his last one, and he just hasn't had a good time with landing recovery. He's doing a lot of smash damage, but he's not helping at all with this edge guarding. It's really coming down to Pikachu with these Jolt Charges, who has landed the vast majority of the kills and is still the only character sitting at 2 stock. It's also the attack that got them killed, and it's about to get them killed again, most likely. And it did. Once again, Meta Knight and Pikachu have just killed themselves. It's weird that they've actually been the ones killing Kirby and Marth, but they've also been responsible for killing themselves and nobody else. It's been all them. I mean, but with that in mind, I mean, as long as Meta Knight and Pikachu don't kill themselves one more time, they should win this match. Martha's just KO'd himself. It looks like he didn't even try to up B until he got to the very bottom there. And now Kirby is just in a terrible spot when it comes to everything. I mean, Meta Knight and Pikachu are fast enough that this Kirby's going to have to land some big hammers or play to his down B very carefully. He is using the fact that he can get back up into the air very quickly, but otherwise, he's just not getting a whole lot done here. He went for the hammer there, and if he had caught the Meta Knight, he actually may have landed the kill, but that was pretty sick right there. Pikachu went low, Meta Knight went high, but Pikachu kills himself right here, and he did. Again, nobody did that except for the Pikachu. Pikachu and Meta Knight have been the only ones to kill themselves this whole time, and Kirby kills himself. It's a kill yourself extravaganza. Kill yourselves, everyone. KYS. The only enemies of both teams were themselves in these matches. Alright, so for our next battle, ooh, a 1.2 million Pichu. Now, I've seen some fantastic Pichu combos. I'm not a fan of the character, but I've seen some fantastic Pichu combos coming out of various players online. But Captain Falcon's got the knee. Everybody's got to root for the knee. I gotta adjust my camera a little bit because it is definitely off by a little bit. So let's see how this Pichu plays against this Captain Falcon. And it's on, and I feel like that's a little biased towards Captain Falcon right here, but I'm sure we'll make it happen. All right, so a little bit of fishing. He landed the first hit on the Pichu. Pichu going for the grab. Now, Pichu has a very dangerous down grab combo where he can absolutely just put you in a painful, painful spot. You got to really watch for that little tiny tail that goes up in the air because they can set off a hell of a combo if you let him get into the down grab into that. You're seeing that even though Pichu, generally one of the more laughed at characters, has quite the combos. His small size makes it so it's a little bit easier to keep some of the larger opponents in some of those aerial combos a little bit longer. Captain Falcon not too much larger, but just large enough. Trying to make use of his air control as well. Not really going for anything. He's got the foot down, but does he have the knee? That's the big question. He goes for the forward special right there. Just trying to play a little bit safe. Oh, he's going to chip away at the shield, but no, he drops it for a second. He just lets the combo go down, and Pichu rolls behind right there. Pichu's showing a pretty decent time, but Pichu just is one of those characters that you don't even need to be at the percentage. He's just hurting himself constantly. If he's not landing these combos, then Pichu is just putting himself in a worse and worse position. It is definitely a character, but he manages to get the air dodge and makes Captain Falcon kill himself. Dude, these have been SD games for the ages. He's going to make that Captain Falcon regret going for a meteor smash right there big time, but Pichu loses his first life to Captain Falcon right there. And now we're at dead even with 3.5 minutes left. Pichu really needs to make better use of the second stock using his air juggle. Remember, look for that little tail. The little tail is going to be how he gets the majority of his damage. He's trying to edge guard a little bit, make Captain Falcon nervous. He's already won one match against him there. Goes for the neutral air into some basic combos. Gets the down grab. That's going to be the grab you see Pichu use most of the time. But he gets just close enough to Captain Falcon to get up smashed right there. And now Captain Falcon just trying to keep the pressure on. Pichu, again, will keep hurting himself as long as he's using certain attacks. So as long as Captain Falcon can land a few decent attacks in there. Pichu tried to go for the meteor smash, but didn't quite get the angle. He landed it after the fact once Captain Falcon had made it back onto the arena. But Captain Falcon showing a lot of composure despite the fake out that the Pichu managed to land on him just before. And it's a careful game. Either of them could lose their second stock here any second. Pichu almost losing his shield. Managing to dodge that and not really losing much more. His shield is already weak, so it's a good thing he managed to actually get the down dodge right there. The standing dodge, I guess I should call it. And he actually manages to land the down smash and actually gets a stock advantage here. Now, he's got to play to those advantages. When Captain Falcon's low on percentages, he can usually juggle him a little bit easier because he's not going flying as far. You see, he goes in for those grabs. He goes in for the immediate up air. He goes in for the neutral air, and that's the one thing Pichu can really do, but he stays on the ground too long and just gets down smashed by the Captain Falcon. He's got a bit of an advantage in terms of damage dealt, but Captain Falcon could easily turn that around in seconds. But you're seeing this Pichu's strength. He doesn't quite get much there, and Captain Falcon's going to punish him for that, but he just can't read this Pichu efficiently enough. These quick controls in the air are just showing why Pichu, as much as you might laugh at him, he is absolutely not someone who is an automatic win. He has a lot of combo control, but he may have just put himself in a bad situation. Unfortunately, Captain Falcon was not going to have the same thing happen twice. Same way he lost his first stock was almost how he lost the final part of the game. He still has to be really careful, though. He is at 160%. If he takes one big smash attack from Pichu, it is over. If Pichu has some decent control, and he takes the dashing attack. He jumps into the dashing attack, and that's enough at 170%. You're not going to survive that. And the Pichu takes that game in a very impressive manner. Yeah, I spent about 40 hours on the single player, and I still have more stuff to do if I want to actually get all the trophies and achievements. Here we go. So this will probably be the final match that we cast, and it is an interesting one. Little Mac against Inkling. Both characters who really thrive close to the ground. Inkling's definitely going to be trying to roll over Little Mac in the most literal sense of the word possible, but Little Mac, he may not do much in the air, but you give him an inch on the ground, he won't just take a mile, he'll take 3,000 miles. So let's see what actually ends up happening here. This is the big thing about Inkling. Most people find it incredibly frustrating. She mostly just throws ink bombs and then goes for the roller. She goes for a smash combo right after the roller, and you're going to be seeing that a lot here. Little Mac is going to have a hard time finding a way in. You generally want a character that's got a little bit more advantage in the air, even though Inkling at least has the grenades and has some decent air attacks. Little Mac is almost purely a ground character, and against a character that is just so abused in online play right now with the roller, it is a tough match for him. He's going to have to make use of some really well-timed ground attacks if he wants to take it. This Inkling not really doing what Inklings are known for doing, mostly going for the grenades, and but landing that up smash after all the damage they did to Little Mac early. I'm not too surprised to see Inkling take the first actual KO in the match. It is 3 stock, 5 minutes. He does manage to use his super armor to just completely go through the roller. And once again doing it, I think he's finally found that this is how he's going to have to win the match. I mean, he can't win the match just by staying there. Unless Inkling jumps into it. I don't think Inkling meant to do that. I don't think they thought Little Mac had the range, but he's not that short a range. And you have this super armor. I don't think this Inkling was quite prepared. Little Mac making his advantage, showing that even though he's on the ground and he's up against one of the most abused characters in online play, that his super armor is more than enough to deal with the Inkling's just complete annoyance in regards to the use of that roller to try and put him in the ground. I mean, the Inkling actually has to start thinking about when it wants to use those rollers, because they can't just sit there. They still have a bit of an advantage. It's still a fairly close match, even down 1 stock. I mean, if the Inkling does even one thing wrong, then you're going to lose this stock right here, and there it is right there. Evening it out, and the Little Mac showed a lot of potential in that second stock. So if he can make good use of that super armor and just completely ignore the roller, who knows, the Inkling might just forego trying to use it and just play back. No, actually managed to bait out the dodge there so he couldn't charge up the super armor. He was a little short on range there, and he's in the ground again. He's got the KO, but I mean, he's gonna really need to push this matchup. This Inkling is adjusting a little bit to the playstyle. He uses the animation of the actual grenade throw for the ink grenade, try and land a hit, and he used his KO and missed. However, he is still picking up a bit of an advantage. He lands one more good attack, and he does! He picks her off before she could grab the edge and get the iframes. And Little Mac just takes one of the most annoying characters in Smash and just gets rid of her. Very well deserved from the Little Mac there. An excellent display of character right there.